All right. So, are we dropping? What do you mean? All right. There we go. Perfect. What's going on? All right. Yeah, we're prepping. So, all right. So we're gonna start off as per usual. We're gonna look at the Forex factory. We talked about this on Friday. Something about the file being corrupted or something like that. I couldn't get that video up, but Monday, we have ISM manufacturing. That's tomorrow. That's 10 a.m. Tuesday, nothing. Not a lot of data. Not a lot of fuel. Wednesday, ADP non-farm employment change. That's coming in, going to fuel us 8:15 in the morning. Thursday, we have unemployment claims as well. That comes at the usual 8:30. And that finishing out with a pretty strong Friday with pretty nice data. So, that's all good, man. So we do have a decent, not a crazy week, but a decent week as far as data is concerned. I do believe, hold on one second. Where did I put it? Somebody in the Discord post one of the earnings charts for me. That'd be great. Hold on, let me see if I can find it really quick. Yeah, what's going on? Good evening. Good afternoon. Is XRP a good buy now? I don't know. Not looking at it. All right, so we'll go over the earnings in just a moment. If anybody wants to post those in the live trading chat, that would help out a lot. I lost my earnings whisper login, so all right. So last week, I talked about the pop back up and candle close and how we're going to determine that going forward. We did successfully reach up and grab this 4-hour box. So going into Monday, we're looking for cost basis to break at 595. And the question is, are we going to push through this small wall above us at a 601.24 cost basis and retest the 607 mark? So that's what I'm looking at. Hey, die snow, go find something like better to do with your life. You what you're doing is useless. What a trash thing to do with your life. Trash coin, trash person, trash block. All right, just had to make sure he knew he was trash. All right, so we have anyway, the potential for a punchback is a 24-hour, same as the daily. It is not. We're including all of the data they are leaving out. All right. So, I mean, it's about as simple as it gets, right? I am looking for a potential for upside. We talked about how damaging that could be for sellers. So we're going to pay attention to this. Yeah, no problem. But I'm hoping to see a punchback this week. So QQQ, we've got the same story, exact same story. We don't need to really overcomplicate this at all. The only difference being is that obviously we still have some floor left over to go and grab. That's 513. Cost basis is 516, and then you would unfortunately have to go and break off this top at 520.15. If you want to go up, 520.15. Remember that price target. All right, IWM. This one is cruising like all the other ones. I'd like to see cost basis get hit at 216.20. I could probably do with a little bit of adjustment here. But yeah, it's going to be right around 216. Punch through. There's another cost basis at 218.44, similar to SPY. And so those are going to be two things that'll give us, again, there's a pretty nice run potential up there, right? Empty space. So I'd like to see that maybe happen this week. We did talk about some potential downside opportunity. On all ETFs, there is structure underneath us. So look at the floor you bounce off of. That's what you have to break. So, one second. All right, that's about it from me. So if you guys have anything you would like for me to take a look at, I'd be happy to do that now. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna go with the first one I see, one at a time. And we're going to start with Charter Communications, 24-hour time frame. I can tell you very simply, very easily that this is the wall. You've already tried and attempted to get above that. If you do get above that, you have a target of 380. However, this thing is not doing a great job at breaking out, right? So underneath 351, expect for this to continue to stay in range. There we go. Yeah, all good, man. SMCI. Keep dropping those requests, guys. SMCI is at the cusp of something that would for sure break them down. And so underneath $38 right now, you're in a area where we could just go ahead and delete this. So any sort of upside, right, would be a recovery of 42.65. Underneath us, we have a box right here, right? You did successfully punch back. So 36.90 would be where I would want to see this thing actually break down, go and see that $33 target, maybe punch back and see yourself down to that $17 floor. If you're able to bounce, there is a lower time frame downtrend on the 4-hour. And so I don't expect for that to happen immediately. There's probably going to be some oscillations in between you and that potential rejection. So 45.65 floor and $51 cost basis up above. UPS. So I've discussed this one many times, and this is something you're going to have to navigate on the 4-hour. It is moving in the right direction, but it is moving incredibly slow. Longer expiration contracts are the only way that I would deal with this stock. But that being said, you have a box below you. You need to avoid any sort of loss of 117.65. And then the goal here for UPS is to get up to 121. So Celsius... $24.81 is I mean, I think inevitably you're coming back down. There might, and a lot of the times when you make these big rips up, there might be a bounce, and you could spend some time in this 28.50 area, and that would be navigated obviously by the lower time frame. You left a lot of empty space up above you, so depending on where you're trying to take this thing, the box is up above you right here at 26.80. This is going on YouTube, yes. Hold on one second. There's all right. You're putting the box in an area of consolidation where you can find points of contact. So the floor here is marked up by 3 wicks. Sometimes it might be marked out by 3 bodies, but you're usually looking for points of contact. So, all right, moving on. What do we got next? Upstart. That's I don't see any empty space other than the target to the downside at 54, which would be possible underneath that 62.50. Any sort of upside, I mean, you are moving through a box. You're not really distinctly closing underneath it all the way, but you have turned that top resistance into basically where you would break. So 71, and you would have an upside $79 target. Anyway, yeah, that would be my first target up above you right here at 79.15. Yeah, we're doing analysis to set up a watch list for the upcoming week, looking for setups that apply to my strategy. Empty space, Potter boxes, both. So, MSTR did bounce off of that floor, recovered the floor that it had originally built at 248.24. So if you're looking for this thing to go to the upside, it's going to be, I don't give a fuck what anybody says, that is a flat, straight forward resistance at 271.84, and I think that would drive you up into the 298. So you got yourself a fucking mess. That's what you have here with Zeta. There's a weekly punchback. It's going to take a second to get there. When it does finally fall, it will go to $12.92. Period. End of story. Period. However, there is a potential with this space that you have below you or above you, excuse me, that you spend some and see when you move it down at the 4 hours less convincing. So I would be probably down here on the maybe not actually. Yeah, if you break over 1850, so I actually applied your Potter box to all the other markets. My strategy works on every single market everywhere. I've even seen it work on corn fucking futures. So VAC, nah. Um, I would expect a bounce on the floor at 69.16. Um, it's not the greatest looking thing I've ever seen in my life, but watch $72. You could bounce there considering the fact that you did dump very quickly. If this is a continuation dump and you break 72.40, then you would be looking for that bottom channel resistance or support at $64. All right, Crowd has earnings this week. All right. Okay, so Crowd has earnings this week. Great. So last time I think we talked about Crowd going on a rip. It did that. That was maybe it wasn't last earnings actually. After earnings, but anyway, you are coming up on earnings now with a target underneath you. It's 364.84. If that was to break down, maybe you see a big leg down to 320. Not a good setup for me. Me personally, I don't really like setups like this because it would be a great lower time frame setup, but not a setup that I would want to trade going into earnings, not necessarily. You just have limited, yeah, you're limited. So the only other options here is that this candle goes completely green. And even with that, I see 445. I don't like that setup. So Affirm, Okay, sorry. And Lee is the truth because the Potter box that you teach is 100% accurate. Thank you, Shengo. Yeah, he's a good kid. He's a good kid. He's going to be a lot better than I am. That's for sure. I found this shit late in my life. Well, not late in my life, but in my 30s. It's when or 20, mid 20s. He's like 21 or something. He's going to have 10 years. All right, so BBAI, it does have earnings, and again, when I'm looking at earnings, I'm looking for empty space, and I'm not really sure, how this thing likes to respond to earnings, because in the past, it really hasn't responded much at all. I get that. Typically, we've had a lot of volatility going into this earnings. So being that you have bounced up here, I could see a retracement back up to 678. I'm not a big fan of this setup. Again, it's just same thing with whatever that other stock was that I did. You break this, you go straight up to 683. Then what? You have a box up above you at 682. You bouncing off of a box. So I wouldn't be surprised if you stay right in here. Personally, I just don't. I don't. This is a surprise or not a surprise earnings, but it hasn't had earnings in quite a while. So this is definitely something that I'm not really sure how they respond. But I would be looking at 680. I mean, that looks pretty obvious. Google. Not my favorite. Google, though, on the other hand, does have quite a bit of empty space. It did bounce like pretty much everything else. And yeah, where it bounced off of is right here, and that's a major level for Google. Google has done its best to avoid any sort of candle closes under there in order to stay bullish. So you have to, and this is one of those. Oh, Kenny. That's all right. Kenny, you have a strategy, dude, that will take you even without the Discord, dude. And I want everybody to use this, dude. Kenny, you're in honestly a better position than a lot of people in the Discord, because everybody in the Discord hits this point where I no longer help them because they have all the information. And so those times where you are not in the Discord forces you to be on your own. And so when you're on your own, you're actually using the strategy and the tools that I gave you, and you're going to become really good at it. So keep pushing, keep fucking watching the YouTube videos, ask questions, be in the free Discord. But yeah, dude, you good. I'm glad. We miss you though. We miss you. And yeah, the Discord's a good hangout spot. Lately it's been a little bit weird. With no stop loss Steve paper trading and faking everything, and now he's doubling down on his TikTok. But I thought it'd be fun to just sue him for fun. I gotta make sure people don't fuck around anymore. Yeah, so Google's pretty simple. On the 2 hours where this is navigated, probably the easiest. The bounce was big, and the next structure up above you is 172.50. So I personally knew that no stop loss Steve was paper trading for probably about 6 months. 6 to 7 months. I didn't have enough evidence to call him out like that, but yeah, I don't fuck with him. I don't fuck with that. Anyway, so yeah, I'd see Google up to 172, and then because it's a really thinly shrouded box, like it's just not super structural. I could see that breaking as well. But that is going to be the first level up above you. So, QBTS. I'm going to stop charting this. I don't think I'll ever chart this again. No, I'm just kidding. Underneath 532, and I know that you know this. I know that you guys can see this. It's very simple. If you can get a candle close underneath 532, you're going down. I would aim for 450, and I would aim for 389. It doesn't look bad. Celsius, I think I just charted. Yeah, I just charted that one. I don't like that either. Maybe a little bit of upside. So, is Lulu? Yeah, it is going to be a good play whenever it gets above this wall right here, and it's really simple. 370, 350. Take it to the upside, shoot it up into the 390s. Pretty good. Not a bad setup. Affirm. I think you're in for probably some sideways action. That would probably make the most sense here. That sideways action, like previous sideways action, could last for quite a while, but inevitably, if you get above 66, so use this previous resistance over here to your left, and again, that box has already been punched through, but if you can make it back outside of 67.35, that's where you're breaking out. So, Amazon. If you guys are on here right now, be sure to tap your screen so that way it brings me to the For You page of other gurus so I can talk some shit. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. I don't really see this as like a incredible bounce. You moved up, you tapped the median part of that range. So obviously, if you can break that, we're looking at the 218 mark. If 218 breaks, which that would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, that would give you a cost basis retest at 223. So. Yes, SoundHound punch back 1118, move up, target 1250, target 1319. Again, this will be on YouTube or screen record me. Whatever you need to do to get these price targets. Coke, I've already done UPS, trash, slow mover, long expiration. Coca-Cola is perfectly, actually, it's not bad. So it's actually probably one of the better setups. Not maybe not setups, but it's structurally sound, and that is what I appreciate. Excuse me. So above 7170, we could look for a punch back up and a new high. But you are in an area of consolidation. You are well structurally sound. So 7170 right there. Thanks for the follow. Damn, you all got it to 2K likes. That was fast. I have not looked at DDD since my boxes were fucking PP yellow. And I have not looked at this stock since I drew it over here and it hit cost basis, which even that I'm not really a fan. But let's see here. So it's not beautiful, but it is there. Yeah, you're failing pretty hard. You're moving pretty quickly. I would be paying attention to how this responds because your overhead resistance is right here. Personally, when I see this, either you straight through break down or you're going to build sideways. I feel confident about that one. So, what is poem? Calm? Now that looks good. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Like, look at this, and then look at that. Like, fuck UPS, dude. That slow moving I'd rather ship myself via UPS. It's just hot dog water. Anyway, I actually do like this. That's definitely going to be a longer expiration contract, but I would be looking through a breakthrough this cost basis. You can see the bid's already up there. But your first target will be right there at 95.05. So above this empty space. So set your fucking alert. Drop this down. Yeah, I set alerts, so you should set some too. Mm. What a weird looking stock. So you're in a really precarious place. There's a floor directly underneath you. What's separating you from that floor is a box, and that box sits right here, and you bounce directly off of cost basis. So 4-hour time frame. Will this be on YouTube later? Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be. Yo, where's paper trading Steve? Has he stopped by? No, he has not, because he's a bitch. You tell him I said it. I should have kicked his ass out way sooner before he started holding all those fucking lives. I kind of regret it. I should have fucking called him out on live, but, you know. Hindsight's 2020. Poet. Oh my god. What the fuck is this? So so you don't have empty space, which I detest. So you're sitting at cost basis now, right? Any sort of breakout or upside movement would be 432, and a breakdown underneath 387 candle close would likely bring you to 336, but there's just not much there for me. So yeah, no stop loss, Steve. You don't need a stop loss if you know, it's really funny if you go onto his page, onto No Stop Loss Steve's page, right before he changed his name in the Discord, his Weeble name was I Still Have a 9 to 5, which is fucking hilarious. I mean, not that he has a 9 to 5. I respect anybody who does, but the fact that you want to say that you came from somewhere you didn't. What a shameful human being. And then I got now the next goal is to fucking purge out anybody in the Discord who was slurping his ass up trying to fucking get people to learn a different strategy that's not my own. So crazy. Target now. You're real close. I think Target might be a good downside mover all the way to 113.41. Wait, no stop loss. Steve was catfishing. Yeah, if you guys don't know, those of you guys who were in our Discord, we had a big fucking drama blow up. Those of you guys on YouTube, anybody who ever followed No Stop Loss Steve, I made a fatal error. I knew he was paper trading from the fucking first crying session that he did, because if you're gonna cry, you gotta be a great actor, and I didn't buy that shit at all. But I didn't even really respond to it. But yeah, he basically spent the next couple of months using that notoriety to sell his own fucking one-on-one mentoring, where he apparently was teaching people my strategy. Which, go fuck yourself. They already paid $400 or whatever. I don't even know how much the workshop costs, but they already paid. And if they have questions or they have anything like that, so yeah. What do I think of Stock Market Wolf? I don't even know who that is. If it's another creator, I'm not here to have friends. I'm not here to be cool with people. who are other day traders or stuff like that. I'm just teaching people my strategy on the internet. One day I'll be gone. So anyway, underneath 121.64, right? He made 20 plus million. Does he have proof? Also, how does that apply to you? I will say this: there's a lot of people. There was a kid on here about 4 years ago, and he got audited, or he had his account audited, and he got really lucky on 2 plays, and it made him a millionaire. And then he used that social status to start his own trading group, and now he's fucking nobody. So. Yeah, I'm not going to let that ever happen again. And if anybody in the Discord decides to fucking post fake gains without saying anything, I'm not even going to give people a warning. So, someone post lease set up on their site the other day. Are you serious? $780 for the workshop. I think you got the yearly, dude. The workshop is not $780. What's up, Sharp Edge? Yeah, it shouldn't be. If it is, I think Ivy's taking some off the top, dude. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, the workshop's $500. But that's 4 months in the Discord. Looks like you got a yearly. Oh, you got a yearly, yeah. Yeah. Mentor of your mentor for real. Appreciate that. All right, let's keep looking up. So it's $500 for 4 months and the workshop. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of ripping myself off. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so that is... Nope. Nope. One day this thing will come out. But if I wanted this thing up or down, I'm setting fucking 2 lines down and I'm walking away. Those are my 2 lines. Steve played you so bad. Dude, I feel so bad, and I get it. That's why I actually take more responsibility than he does, because I should have said something. I should have fucking... When I found out that he had... When I found out that he had his own Discord, I should have fucking booted him, but he begged me. I mean, he fucking begged me. He, like, down on his knees type shit, begged me to fucking let him stay in the Discord, and that was desperate because I was taking away his money. What was his answer to this? Bullshit. Excuses. I hope he's out there watching, and if you are watching right now, you piece of shit, you're going to see me in court, not because I have to, but because I want to. Even if it's small claims court, dude. Anything I can do to fucking disrupt your life is exactly what I will fucking do, because I have the time, money, and resources. You took advantage of people who fucking were trying their hardest. Blake has been putting in so much fucking effort, and then you come in and you're like, oh, pay me $700. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Like, you are the worst. And the fact that you listen to me, of all people, and yeah, I'm going to be a lot more careful now. I promise you that. I might even make a reward system for, like, I'll pay people if they find out that people have their own group. Thermodynamic fissures, doo-doo water. So, all right, anyway, let's keep moving. I don't want to stop, so I want to keep talking about that guy. Yeah, it's on me, though. I definitely should have said something. But I didn't. I wanted to catch him red-handed, and I did, but... All right, so Apple came right off a cost basis, bounced really, really hard, and now we're basically in that realm where we're looking at the potential for a punchback, right? And so that's going to be 243.64 and 246.75. Watch those two marks. If you want to learn my strategy, Gian, you go to YouTube, and go to my... How did I catch him? Oh, man. I don't even know where the screenshots are. Oh, they're in here. So I'll just, I know you guys are curious. So if you guys weren't here, glad I didn't say. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Because he kept upping his prices. So really quickly, 243.78, and then 246.15 basically. Is he the one you were talking to on your live the other day? No. Yes, no stop loss, Steve. All right, you guys ready? And we're gonna go over this, and I'm not talking about it anymore. If you guys are looking at your screen, I want to show you guys some things that he did. So he will, about 9 months ago, I said, or 6 months ago, I said no paper trading gains. I knew at that point that he was a fucking paper trader. And so basically what I did is I was just watching, and I wanted to pay attention to his screenshots. After I posted no paper trading gains, he would only post his shit for a second, and then he would delete it. And that fucking threw up a bunch of red flags. Secondly, this came in the other day. I kept staring at this screenshot. I knew there was something off. I could not figure out what it was. And I sent it to Ivy. Ivy said, look at the dash mark. The dash mark is close to the 5 and not in the center. And it doesn't have a fucking dollar sign. And you look at a real one and the dash is in the center and it has a fucking dollar sign. That's fake. And it's fucking disgusting. So fuck you, Steve. The only thing I can do right now is sue his ass, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking do my damnedest to fucking make his life as hard as hell. So, so before we go all bullish, right? I will say on Apple, just keep an eye on that cost basis and how it responds to that one. Be patient this week. So. Yeah, I can't stand people like that. I mean, you guys see how I feel about most of the creators on here and all the dumbass ICT shit that I see. It's all like that's well enough. Whatever, it's not my responsibility. But like, if you're in my Discord and you're gonna do some shit like that, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up. Extra win. This one, dude, is gonna be fucking weird because you are approaching this for the third time. 1, 2, 3, curling up off of cost basis, massive area of consolidation, right? And so you are looking for a candle close against 112.35, and unfortunately, the first target will be around 114. So. Any major news meetings this week? Nothing really. So, how much is it to your join my Discord? You can go onto my website, Simple Stacks Investments. There's the prices. I recommend that you don't join, especially if you're watching me right now. Don't pay for my shit. Don't pay for anything. Don't buy anybody's shit. Put your wallet away and go to my YouTube channel and make sure that you're making a good decision. Go look at the results. Go talk to people on my free Discord and do some research before you just buy stuff. So, my Discord is not a it's not a signal chat. So just keep that in mind. No problem. No problem, man. UI. It sounds like something a doctor should look at, not me, dude. Yeah, well, you know what? Why don't we take a break here in just a second after I look at this, and we'll take a look at the earnings calendar. I appreciate Texas. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. And by the way, I'm being all negative and stuff here, but like, those of you guys who called this shit out or said stuff to me in the DMs, you guys are all good, and I appreciate that. So, So me personally, you did recover a floor, right? So you could draw a line in the sand and say this is where you're bullish, right? Above 325.77. And in order to start moving up, which I could see it happening, but it is a little weird, I would be looking at this 4-hour resistance here at 347.50. So, all right, we're going to take a second since we have the time. And we're going to take a look at the earnings calendar. And I think just really quickly going through a scan here, we should be able to find ourselves something wide open. I'm not going to fucking spend a whole lot of time on this. So the only issue is so fucking big. Pause. What's up, Ryo? Welcome. Yeah, anybody in here new? If you're new here, go to my YouTube channel. Go watch. Go pay attention to the recaps. Go look at my educational channel. Look at the results. Right? Look at the results of the people who are. That is the most important thing. What I buy and all that other stuff, it's not important. The people who are in my Discord and the results they're getting, that's what you want to focus on. So, fuck is that supposed to be? Am I blind? SMR. Okay, so let's just really quickly, I'm going to scan. I'm not going to fucking, I'm only going to chart the shit that looks good. So, does it move on earnings though? No, it doesn't. That's a problem. Otherwise, I would say it's actually not the craziest. I mean, it is a little crazy actually now that I think about it, but I don't know. Maybe you dump down to 1250. Am I going to play target earnings depending on if the setup is good? I don't. If the setup is not good, I don't trade. No setup, no trade. Have setup, will travel. OKTA has earnings. I mean, if this thing could bounce and blow off the top here, it doesn't. It doesn't have the worst earnings. It does actually have pretty good earnings. So I could actually see this thing. If you could blow over $100, I think you have an easy 106, 110 target. Or 109 target, excuse me. ASTS. Yeah, the political climate will, but it's more or less the decisions, you know. Inconclusive. I don't like that one. Let's keep going. So I've already done Target. Didn't really see anything crazy on that. Best Buy. How does it respond on earnings? It does actually do fucking really good on earnings. I see a target of 9. So write that down. That's actually not a bad earnings setup at all. It's not a bad earnings setup at all. You're consolidated going into earnings. You do respond really well to earnings. I actually think I'll trade that. See, so really quickly, take a second. Do you see how fast? Do you see how fast I saw this? Some of the requests that I get is, I'm like, dude, what are you looking at? This setup is fucking garbage. And this one, I look at it, and within 10 seconds, right, I can immediately see the setup. So me personally, I see a 96.80 run. Whether or not that will be worth it and the contracts will fit that script, we'll have to see on Monday. But BBY. If you can't find the 24-hour, that probably means that you haven't purchased all of the data. So. Is there any reason that I use the 24-hour and not the daily? Yeah, I believe the daily is one of the biggest scams ever introduced into the stock market, considering that the market runs from fucking 4:30 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. And so I have been showing people the reason, and I just show different examples, especially on SPY. But one of my favorite examples that I show people just, structurally is right here and on Mara. It just shows kind of exactly what I'm trying to tell. So this is with the 24-hour. You can see that it's very structural, perfect tops, perfect bottoms, and this includes all of the data, including the data that everybody says comes in from smart money, right? Smart money opens the market, smart money closes the market. I hear it all the fucking time, but nobody puts that shit on their chart and they leave it off. So go ahead and take that away and turn it back into the daily, and it looks like shit. Shit, right? Trash, structure, clean, stop losses set. So that's why I use a 24-hour. Not to mention, it also shows how much, I think day traders lose perspective oftentimes because they think that they can just show up on days that look like this, right? For us, we swung this trade, right, over these two candle tops, and that was a great trade. We also knew that it was probably time to get out when the bell opened. But then you take a look and you get rid of the regular hours, and that's what day traders are fucking left with, right? They're left with that. We get this, they get nothing. So the majority of the market movement, more than 80% of it, is done overnight. So we look to take advantage of the statistics within the market, and that's one of them. All right, Foot Locker, FL. Bobby, thanks for the roses, dude. Thank you guys for the gifts. You guys don't have to do that. I appreciate it. I'm just going to donate it to a Palestinian family, so if you're cool with that, go send them on my way. Hey, VIP gold free signals. You're a terrible person. Your mother's not proud of you. You're a disgrace. What a terrible human being that you are. You know goddamn well that if you had anything solid to offer, that you wouldn't be in somebody else's live trading, right? You wouldn't, because you're garbage. So take your garbage, including yourself, and put it in the trash. Okay, bye-bye now. All right. Anyway, that was therapeutic. All right, so 1661 is the first floor underneath us on the weekly. I'll be honest with you, it's not my favorite fucking earnings setup. It looks like it's got the shit kicked out of it. I am an ADT reject. Alfredo, here's a big hug for you. We're here, dude. Anybody else out there who's an ADT reject? But I will ask you, you know what? I just thought about this in this very moment. If you go leave an honest review on his WAP, I'll give you a discount. Actually, fuck it. I'll give you a free month. Fuck a discount. Maybe $15. Yeah, just go be honest. I'm not asking anybody to go and lie. But go be honest about, rail that motherfucker. All right, anyway, we're going to get banned. All right, so Google, I already did this one. Check the recap on that one. I have a 173 target, so. All right, what else? Tesla. Yeah, we should look at that, shouldn't we? Because it did bounce right off of my juicy little fucking candle open there. Probably shouldn't say that in public, but it did bounce off of it. So the first target to my left is going to be here, and that's going to be around 305. Second target will be 327, but how do we get there, and do we even get there? So here's some questions that you can answer for yourself on Monday. 297.58. Remember these. Right? Oh God, you Isn't that what your mom said? I'm sorry. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That came out of me. I didn't control it. That was from someone else. I'm sorry. What do I think about the Jay Diamond Group? I thought I didn't really think anything of him until I found out that he was talking shit. And so now I think he's a butterballed, fucking cue ball looking ass, old dude. So, fuck you, Jay. All right. So, Tesla 305 punchback, and we're looking for empty space to get filled up. We're going to have a median target within that empty space around 318, right? So we're looking for remember these price targets: 298.04, 305.19, and then you can move up. Okay, cool. All right, Ring. What the fuck is Ring? Oh, ugh, ugh, ugh. Gotta shield my eyes. It's not the worst. I'm being dramatic. So on the 24-hour, right, you did bounce off of the structure, bounce out, or resist previous resistance, turn support. And so, I mean, obviously there's a potential retest up here, but I will say it's not going to happen until you clear that $33 level, and then you can go and tap that 34. If you can do that, moving to the upside. So, yeah, send me a screenshot of your review, and we'll get you hooked up. Oh, hydration. All right. ENPH. It's a water, but you know what? I'm hydrating in a box, okay? For day trading, smaller time frame, yes. Sharp edge trading, typically you're not necessarily looking for the setup on the 24-hour time frame or on the lower time frames. Uh, 40 to 1 Gold Crew Creative. 40, well, I guess this year, maybe not. That was last year. It was ridiculous. We hit 40,000% or 40,900% on a trade last year. It was absolutely insane. Those contracts were like 15 cents. Do you think technicals over macro? Yeah, man. I think that macro, whatever the information is already accessible to the people who run this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, ENPH 24. I got you in on your XYZ. So I see a downtrend clearly, very clearly, obviously. So where you heading? You might be on your way. I'd be looking at a target of $44 to the downside. So XYZ. Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot that this is fucking block. This is the page's turn. Movie so crass and awkwardly cast. Even I could be the star. So you're in a weird spot, right? You're going to go ahead and mark out your floor right here, and that's going to be $60.22. So on the weekly, if that's broken down, of course, above you it's $69.50 and $70, and that would give you access to that empty space up above, which I'm sure that's what you're looking at. So $69.50 is the target up above. Okay. Um, hmm. I personally, looking at this setup, would just want to see a breakthrough 4150. And then you have 1, 2, 3, and then I'd be looking for the 4520 target. Yeah. I'm still, I was trying to mix it up a little bit. So, SE has earnings this week. This one's a pretty big performer. Hmm. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of. I mean, it is one of those stocks that'll just kind of push out. And so I mean, like targets to the upside, unfortunately, are a bit obscure. I would say 151 on earnings is the target for me. 151, 151. So EVGO. Did I look at that one? I must not have. We're missing empty space today, guys, folks. I'm not really seeing a lot of that. $2.50. So that guy Alex trades options, always talking smack about your Potter box. My potty box. I'm just gonna start calling it. Alex trades options can go fucking choke on one. I couldn't care less about that doofus. He's a bad person though. $3.10. I see three. So you're looking to see how it responds to that 250. So AVGO. Oh, you don't want me as president, dude. Is that of earnings? I see a leg down all the way to 186. But you are floor. You need to be above 201 and 20260. IREN has a punchback above it right here. 875. So the punch through that, and then you can start heading up. You will have a 940 or 937 target, and then from there you could possibly start moving back up. So Walmart just needs. I mean, it's not a terrible setup. It's not. The target is $100. Period. End of story. That is the first target up above you. So come Monday morning, if we can just quite simply push, that is the first target. How you respond to that is going to dictate whether or not you can fill up the rest of that empty space to 101, which I could see happening. So I have gone over the cues. I've gone over all those things. Thank you, Vita Puli. I probably said that wrong, but $85 put. For next week, yeah, that's a stretch, my bro. Yeah, you went too far. Let me show you how far you're expecting AMD to dump. All the way down there. In a day or in a week, which I don't see. Even if you go look at the 24, that's 85 right there. So yeah, I do think that you stretched that a little too far. That's also what she said. So, are you friends with positive energy? Oh yeah. 2 weeks. I don't know. Oh, man, that's a little far. That's a little far. With the empty space up above you, it could be just as easy to go retest that 104. So hopefully, dude, I'm going to pray for you for your contract I hope AMD does continue to melt down. And if it does, at least 93 would be the first target. So maybe this week is the week, dude. Maybe we melt down. So, you're fooling around with this box over here to your left. Pause. So you bounce right off of cost basis on Friday. So your goal is to see how you respond to that. If you want to take TTD up, you need to recover your floor, and that floor is right here at 72.30. Excuse me, guys. I have a lung infection. Small one. This pollen immediately came in, and I felt it. I felt it hit my lungs, dude. I was like, nobody talks about toxic masculinity enough. If any species has toxic masculinity, it's trees. They nut everywhere. All in our faces, all our kids, our families. Your grandma has tree nut in her nose right now, dude. That's fucked up. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, trees aren't so different from all of us. You said IWM Green Nut Boy. Oh, man. That's good shit. Yeah, so IWM punch back to 16, 217.32, and then we can move on up. So, anyway, I'm going to move back over to earnings really quickly. Let's take a look at AutoZone. Depends, AJ. If I can see the same level holds from the 24 down to the 4 hour, now I can use the 4 hour. If it holds all the way to the 1 hour, I can do that. If it's moving intraday, then I have to find a lower time frame setup and structure to use as a stop loss and an entry. So yeah, there are sometimes I have to take trades on the 24-hour time frame before that candle closes. Otherwise, I'd miss out. So I set up a plan to do exactly that. I don't even know why I'm looking at this, considering is it worth learning in 2025, Ben? Yeah. And I don't trade futures, Ben. I trade options. Options have proved to be far more profitable for me. I'm not like a day trading option guy for the most part. But yeah, futures is not my thing. I'm not a big fan of the prop firm scene either. So yeah, I mean, again, that's just my opinion and a preference. I don't discourage anybody from doing anything that you got to find out for yourself. But yeah, AutoZone, we're not going to fucking play that one. I don't even know why I'm looking at it. Pay safe. That's fucking cold hot dog water right there. What else? We got a lot of good earnings this week. Genie. Hey, Potter, how far contracts will you take, and will you do leaps even? Yeah, I will. And I would say, I mean, up to 6 months to 8 months out. So what's the reason not to day trade or scalping? So, Ben, the reason that I kind of speak out against this, and I can show you this on a chart, I can, yeah, be sure to tap your screens right now because I'm going to say some shit that piss people off. Day trading for the majority, right, for the most part, is reserved for those who have a massive amount of capital. I like to show people this because it's statistics. 80% of the market movement is overnight, Ben. So if I can acknowledge that and then also look at the numbers of day traders that lose, which is upwards of 98% of day traders who attempt this all fail, and then you have 80% of the market movement overnight, it kind of makes sense that motherfuckers can't win because the statistics don't speak in your favor. But I like to buy my contracts at the end of the day and swing them into the next day, almost as if I'm grabbing my day trading position before, right? Before the actual play takes off. So I'm selling my contracts to day traders. Now, let me show you how and why, right? So we swung, this was a trade that we took a while back, 1, 2, 3 off the top, Potter box punchback potential to the upside, empty space up to that floor there, right? So we wanted this trade up to here. We'd have to put the bins in a room and fight. So one thing I will say is don't become an uncle. From what I know, Uncle Bins don't really have great luck. So, but anyway, so you see nice movement. It looks really, really cool. But then you take that away. Now, that's where I took my trade. And this is what day traders are left with, right? And it might look like, well, okay, I might be able to squeeze something out of that. Okay, cool. Look at the hourly, right? That's your play. So while we capture these vast overnight moves, right, they are sitting there trying to typically, and I did this last week, typically trade and chop, right? So swinging into these positions just is statistically sound. We are being logical. That's why when people argue with me, I'm like, listen, I don't give a fuck what you say. Yes, there is opportunities to day trade here and there, but the majority of the movement's going to be overnight. So, and typically when you make a big move overnight, you spend the majority of the day chopping, right? We took this here, you chop, right? So, Potter, do I ever take volume into account? No. I don't. I could care less about. Volume is obscure and reactive. So with volume, right? What is it actually telling me? A lot of the times, right? There is little resistance as you're moving up, and you will not have high volume. You don't need it, right? So are you going to take that trade because it just doesn't have good volume? Nope. Right. So. I almost got the money for a PBS chain. Dude, if you make a PBS chain, dude, that's fucking badass. Speaking of a chain, my jeweler just called or hit me up today and told me my ring is almost done. So that's cool. I'm getting you one, dude. You changed my life. Oh, Michael, I don't know what to say, dude. I'm glad I can be a part of it, man. That's what yeah. I don't know how to take compliments, but OG Cater, can you save my portfolio? I can teach you some skills that will help you save your portfolio so you feel good and confident about your ability to navigate the market in the future and never have to rely on anybody, including myself. What are my top 3 indicators if you had to choose? A gun, a bullet, and a knife. Because I'm gonna use all of those things to no, I'm just am I gonna cut my hair for the wedding? Yeah, I'm gonna cut my hair. Why, you don't like it, Kimberly? Does it look bad? Be honest. Okay, Kimberly with the algebra fucking tutor. Where were you fucking forever ago? Roblox. Why is there so many goddamn bins in here? But Ben, it changes. It changes. Lakis, let's go, man. You guys are gross. All right, let's see what you're talking about, Blake. You see 24-hour pot PB over 65. Okay, so you're looking at a 24-hour cost basis. Okay, I see it. Okay, so 4 hour. Sure. It's not my favorite stock in the world. Not a huge fan of the movement, but I do see a 65, 60 target up above you. So, yeah. Keep dropping those requests, guys. I'm going to keep sprinkling in earnings here and there. Crowd has earnings this week. Now, that is an easy price target. I think Crowd has the potential to hit 405 and move up into these wicks and bodies probably around 430. Yeah, you're bouncing off of a major structure. I think I already did this one. So lower time frame says maybe 427. So ASTS. ASTS above 3050, which is also a cost basis. And that's up. Otherwise down 2170. So I it's a bit obscure. Maybe you bounce off of this 2730 floor. Maybe. Maybe. Sorry. So lower time frame up ring central for sure, right? Ring central out of this box, but any sort of long-term play, right? Maybe up there to 3250. But for me, when I look at these massive weekly setups, I have to set these hard lines like, okay, underneath 2734, you have 2530. So, I mean, it's tough, right? It's tough when you're in these areas. I mean, you go to the weekly and the monthly, excuse me, and even there, right, you're left with very little. So, oh, not Microsoft. That's actually starting to move now. So, 24-hour time frame. Ugh. Hmm. So you're at the floor. You're trying and attempting to hold that floor. So you're going to have to use the lower time frame, right? Lower time frame does not have empty space. I hate this stock. It just does not have good empty space. But 401 is cost basis. The first target would be 407. Panda, we did target. This one has obviously has earnings bouncing off of cost basis here. It has plenty of smaller, lower time frame boxes. It's hard to imagine this thing doing much. You know, maybe a wick. I could see a big candle right here with a nasty wick on both sides. But if you can go and hit 133.45, then I would be looking at the 137.50 target. Just made a bag of your favorite XRP. Good job, Jacuzzi Surfer. What the fuck? Steely, what the fuck are you doing in here? I don't know. I just wanted to scare you. You okay? Are you just okay? All right. I just wanted to come and check on you. Oh, thank God your mic just got louder. It was so light.
Is this better?
That's way better. Yeah, man up. No, I'm just
Yo, yeah, all right. I'll show you, man.
Hey, yo, what?
I'll show you something manly
Oh, right. I'm out of here, dude.
later.
Oh, my God. Steelio. I think we're still in correction zone diet Mountain Dew. I think what's happening right now could be retest, but it's too soon to say. And I don't, I don't make any money off of making those assumptions. I just react to the price. So, this is easy, right? This is easy. Cost basis 183.50. If you could punch through this box, you could make it outside of this range and start moving up to 200. So, John Wood, you're the man. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you. Duzutis? Saul, that sounds like a disease. What? Give me the ticker name, then. With your strat, could you do features? My strategy applies to everything. If it's a market and it has candlesticks, it works. And that's not even coming necessarily from me. That's coming from people who trade crypto. I mean, yeah. So I see the empty space below 143 down to 132. You said TJR is bad on YouTube comment, but is there an actual reason behind it? Yes, of course. So me personally, right, I have never, well, there's a lot of layers to this. Why is his entire audience 15, 16, and 17-year-olds? Because the reality is those are the easiest people to take advantage of, right? You don't see a lot of grown-ass men in there. Secondly, what he does and what he teaches, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work because everybody, I mean, everybody from the people in his comments to even just watching him live, it's sad. It's sad. At this point, dude, I don't even say anything because the people who experience these traders, this community that they talk about with the futures people, like I don't fuck with none of them for a good reason. Because they're all, when you make friends with other people in this space who have disagreeing strategies and all that other stuff like that, it's just a great way to continue to market yourself. You collectively all market yourself. And then, I mean, there's been so many different actions that he's done. I mean, the pump and dump shit he's done now with crypto. And there's just a lot of people who make excuses for him. So, yeah, I think he's just not. Lastly, I mean, and this isn't even the only point. His dad owned a private school, right? And so he came out of the gate flexing, talking about I had to Uber and all that other stuff. That's dishonest. He's had it like that for a long time, and I can't stand with rich kids, like that kid who's always on. He's always on my nuts. He's got curly hair. His dad owns a firm. His dad's firm is trash. But yeah, he's another one of those dudes. So the only difference is his dad ruined him. Uh-oh. What happened? The comment you posted was removed for violating the community guidelines. My comment said, bro, you look like you are missing a chromosome. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, that wasn't very nice. Maybe I should appeal that because I didn't mean it meanly. Oh, and I got another one too. Anyway, must be nice to start with a large capital. You went to Cranbrook. That's a private school. Listen, if you went to private school, it's fine. What do you think about EMA strategies? Outdated, old, and Lagging, not my favorite. I used to use EMA crossovers to trade. All right, keep dropping. We're gonna. We'll actually hold them real quick. Let's see what else do we have this week. Box. I don't think JWN actually moves on earnings. I could be wrong. Oh my god. Oh my god. Does anybody actually shop at Nordstrom Rack anymore? Yeah, that's not happening. Go fuck yourself. Box. This is boxy. I want to learn your strat, but I lack motivation doing it alone, unfortunately. Is there a Discord? Yes, there is. If that's something that you're lacking, then yeah, you can join the Discord. Because I tell you what, it's really hard to fucking... yeah, sometimes it's better to be in a group. So I might make you a pass for that one. But I will say this. If you're new and we're in the middle of trading, don't open your mic and ask me like 2 seconds before the bell rings. I just had to boot some dude out of my Discord a couple weeks ago because I just couldn't fucking explain this shit to him. He just had very bad social skills. So do we see the Camden? It's hard not to, right? Listen, those of you guys who are, if this is a real downtrend shit, yeah, it's gonna be tough. So I tested your Potter box and it works 100%, even beats many indicators I used over time. Appreciate that, and I hope it makes you lots and lots of money. So, how can you buy calls? Can you explain how you would have handled Tesla on the downtrend? Do you ever trade options? That's pretty much all I trade. Ben, there's a lot to unpack on that. So I'll break that down on another time. This is being recorded for YouTube so people can watch my request later on and find plays through, or yeah, so. Okay, Ben, I got you, man. Just be in the Discord, shoot me DMs. I'm in the live trading, so you'll see everything go down. Ask questions in the chat, and people are extremely supportive and helpful. So just don't be weird. All right, which I'm sure you're fine. Sometimes we get a weirdo, you know. Box is in a box, possibly declining underneath it into a new box. Box. That's trash. All right, keep it moving. Rost. You can go to Earnings Whisper to get this, by the way. Somebody asked me that. Was the short squeeze on SPY a Friday? So I'm glad you asked that. So yes, that is whenever you have major pressure downside, right? And all of a sudden you hit a floor and buyers start picking up. You're going to get sellers that get out, right? When they get out, they buy. When they buy, this drives price up. So if you dumped really quick, you're going to rip really fast. So that's something to consider. So yeah, there was a squeeze, and that's sometimes squeezes can actually initiate continuation in buying. So yeah, make sure everybody to follow my YouTube channel if you haven't already, because I get banned about once a year, and we're coming up on the anniversary. So Samuel, I use a strategy that I created called the Potter Box strategy, or the PBS strategy. Yeah. It's one of the only strategies out there that produces over 1,000%, 2,000, 4,000%, trades, and at least over 100% trades on a regular basis. And I would feel terrible if I was bullshitting you. But again, you can go and talk to the people who are probably in this live. So, yeah, please go follow this YouTube channel. We're about to hit 14K here soon. Lots of clips being uploaded. If you guys want to drop comments and support, look at my editor, dude. My editor thinks he's so fucking funny. He thinks he is so funny. Look at that shit. Wow. Anyway, go to my website. If you're trying to get into my Discord to purchase a membership or anything like that, I would recommend the PBS workshop. Everything comes with it, right? So you get 4 months in the Discord, live trading sessions. Yes, these are the prices. Yes, we do throw discounts out there every once in a while. The reason, but all of these come with the Potterbox workshop. So, oh, Music Man, I thought you were saying that I love you. But if you click on that, or you go to my YouTube channel, or excuse me, the top of this right there, click on that little Discord button. Potter Stocks Trading is the name of my channel. Doesn't look bad. Yeah, I'd see you up at 9:40 this week. Oh, and I love you. Love you too, Music Man. What do I think of P? Yeah, it's a salty bacterial mix. Well, you've hit at something major, right? And you've bounced. So you bounced right off of this target right here. So I mean, when I look at this, no, I don't. If anything, I feel like this is probably going to continue moving down. There, in any good downtrend, you're going to have retest and climb back up. Bear traps, if you will. So I'd be paying attention to 103.17 and punch through up to 122. So I just tried to drink that with the cap on. Celsius has to continue moving down. It bounced though, so below its Friday low is where we go short. ZTS, Zoidus. Ugh. 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 You're Celsius. You're in a major box, major fucking area of consolidation. You need to be above 172 if you want to go up. You're gonna have to. I don't know what the fuck I just did, but oh my god, I just fucking. There we go. All right, so me personally, I would want to see this. So reclaim 174, punch back 176.83, and then move up to 190. So this is not a shirt. See, this is a robe. Oh, I saw some leg, dude. Oh my god! Don't look at my legs. Yeah, it's a robe, dude. I'm chilling. Don't look at my goddamn leg. Have I ever used any AI for helping analysis of trade or tickers? No, I have not, but I did get in an argument with AI and I won. That was pretty cool. I was arguing about the 24-hour. You're dealing with stacks, right? So you've built a box and now you're building a box on your box for the ultimate box experience. You have the potential here for a downtrend. Ooh. Yeah, that one kind of looks fucked. So under 179.42 weekly time frame, 156.11, and that's a box. And so yeah, yeah. Them legs got me weak. Hey, man, leave my legs alone, dude. I do pay for TradingView, and you're going to have to do it as well if you want all of this data. Leave my damn legs alone, dude. They're strong. Except for my left one. All right, I'm going to go over a few more earnings, guys. I'm going to start bringing this to a close. So let's, ANF has earnings, but I already know I don't want that one. We'll take a look at it anyway. Goddamn. I'm scared to take that one, but I'll be watching for a bounce off of 94.63. You could go back up to retest all of this empty space up above you. I don't know about that one, but yeah, anything above 111, you'll retest that 125. I gotta go put my chickens to bed, guys. Night time for chickies. That's actually pretty fucking weird. That's a weird chart. It's cool. You're very boxed up. It's hard not to see this one coming down, right? I can tell you this for sure. Watch the retest right here. Watch how it responds to 207. If it rejects it sharply, I think you're coming down here to 178. Sal, so tariffs, when we react to tariffs, typically the market will price that in. So I'm going to assume that the interview with Steve is not going to happen. No, the reason, so at first I was going to interview him. But then some things caught my eye very quickly afterwards, and his story started to weird me out, and I just kind of was hoping that I could catch him sooner, but I won't make that mistake again. I'm not going to play around with that shit anymore. If I catch anybody in my Discord trying to steal members or charge members money, I'm going to sue the fuck out of you. And I'm going to do it with a smile on my face because you're taking from people that I'm trying to help. And that pisses me off. If people weren't involved, I maybe wouldn't care as much. But when people get involved, yeah, I'm going to fuck you up. So I did go over Uber and PayPal. Listen, NVIDIA is in a mess of its own. You're going to have to play this one lower time frame. It does not have empty space. It does not have the elements of the trade that make me want to take it. And it still has yet to reclaim the floor above it at 126.40. So once it does, I'm in. Or then you can go to cost basis and maybe something can happen. But I think what happened on Friday, the more I think about it, the more that could just be a retest. So we did Google as well. That'll be on the YouTube channel. All right. So we're going to really quickly, I'm going to pick out some, and we can do more as we get closer to these earnings. That's a wild looking chart right there. Look at Marvel. Yeah. All right. Well, with this one, so Marvel, yeah, not great. Could see a maybe 103 tap, 24-hour time frame. Man, this earnings season might not be that fun. But I could see $100 retested there. So Stockyard Trades, you are absolutely correct. We're able to really coincides with the chart, so it's a beautiful thing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and remove the recording or stop the recording now. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Wednesday. Wednesday at 4:15, we're going to host here a Q&A. And so if you're watching this back later, my request is that anybody who's watching now, my request is that you please write down those questions, that you would pretend that you're about to have a one-on-one with me, just me and you. I want you to write those questions down. So. Morning, Ivy. What's up?